or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 13, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.
You have 12 members.
We have 7, we just need 4, because you have
No,
7.
the quorum includes even vacancies. That's where I think people are messing up on what a quorum is. We've been having this issue.
I've always been told quorum is 4 in
I know.
our commission.
Okay.
So that's what I'm gonna go with, and I think we don't really actually have
Well,
any.
straight, yeah, it's
we-
gonna get.
Oh, no, that's okay. We just online. Okay. I think we're live. Are we live here? I feel off my game right now.
Let me email to her and ask.
I think we're,
You're not, I just checked.
okay.
Oh, it's not on Facebook yet.
So,
I could still hear Bob Kulak.
can Allison hear us now?
Can you hear us now? No. Is this on?
So,
I don't think the mics are set up right for this hybrid meeting. Still, we'll get going in a second on our Conservation Commission meeting, if there's anyone watching at home. I don't want to mess this up. I think we could just turn that sound off.
then would we be able to hear her?
We don't need to hear. Or turn it down at least, so I don't hear myself. For some reason, that really messes with my brain.
Try it.
Can we?
There was a solution last time. I don't remember what it was.
Let's ask her.
Let's see.
The speakers might be off, is that what's
I don't know, she can't hear us still.
on?
No. So I can unmute here and we can mute something on the computer maybe?
Okay, let me just check what I can call it on.
Okay.
Why don't you call Rob while you're standing there? So we can walk her through it.
Yeah.
So you wanna at least approve the dues with the echo?
Probably do that.
And you could also bring the meeting to order.
So,
We can put up the echo for that.
Okay. All right,
We're going to put up with an echo for a few minutes here. I call this monthly, the April monthly meeting of the Conservation Commission to order here. I will introduce our members that are present.
We have
a hybrid meeting here. I'm Andrew Koff. I'm the chair of the Conservation Commission.
Trevor Matera?
Dave Short?
Nancy Belanger, Select Board Rep.
And
And
tuning in. Now
now
it's
it's
really,
really,
we
we have
Allison
Allison Everhart.
Can you
Can you hear us?
I can.
Okay. We have
We have no public here. Our first action item is an expenditure request
for
the New Hampshire ACC dues.
They're
$900.
So
I will,
this
this
is
is an important organization for us. We have the annual meeting. They provide us a lot of useful information and contacts. So I'm going to go ahead and motion to approve the expenditure of $900 for dues category from the Conservation Commission town budget.
Seconded.
All right, we'll have to do a roll call vote
Yep.
because Allison is not here in person with us. So Allison?
Yes.
I'll vote yes. Trevor?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes?
Okay, the motion passes 4-0. All right, up next we have some committee reports. Kristen Murphy is not here because she couldn't make it tonight, but she did provide us some good notes for different activities that are going on. So the first thing is the McDonnell Conservation Area. We have opened the gate. We had that as a volunteer run. Parking lot. We close the gate at night. We open it during the day. And I want to thanks to our volunteers who make this happen every day. We have Diane Arnheim, Laura and Brian McSweeney, Bruce White, Shane Venture. I'm not good with last names. I'm not even going to try. Venturini. Shane Venturini and David Cover. So thank you guys again for making that happen. This second item is the Gateway Deed Status Report. So if you remember the Gateway Project, this is across from the mobile station. There's a residential and commercial development that we approved. Had to have been early COVID. It was a hybrid meeting. We had a few different meetings. The whole back portion of the property is going to become this conservation owned by the town. And I just signed the deed. Very exciting. I had to get it notarized downstairs. So I had to get here early to get it done. And so that is very exciting. It's 4.3 acres. Not 4.3, 43.6 acres. That sounds a lot better. This deed now also has to be signed by the Department of Environmental Services and the Select Board and a number of other people before it goes in force. But it's a good step forward in that project. I don't know where the rest of the project stands. I think they're still getting funding and permits for other aspects. It's a giant project.
Pretty quiet, yeah.
So there is, I'm reading Kristen's note here. And Nancy, this is going before the select board tomorrow, you said?
What's that?
The gateway deed?
That was approved last night.
It was approved last night. And Kristen Murphy was there to support that.
She was.
Okay. Okay, the other thing, the next item is the Riverwoods Forest Stewardship Plan. And this echo is still bothering me.
This is Mike Waller. He's over there.
Testing. A little bit. But not too bad. Although I don't know if you really hear stuff.
Possible is an issue on the computer since the software like
The broadcast is recorded.
Okay, well, she's muted.
Well, I already muted her, so she must have muted
Is she watching the meeting online? Isn't that what?
When's this?
Bill. Yeah. But she.
Yeah, that's why she wanted to.
Okay, so we should mute this?
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
Allison's muted.
Oh,
I doubt
there we
she's
go.
watching it.
I didn't touch that one.
Oh, I thought you said you unmuted the share.
I did here.
Yeah, exactly. That's, if you unmute that computer, it creates feedback. So that's a problem.
Can you hear me now?
No, see, but now muted.
Yeah, I can
Can
hear
you
you.
hear me now?
No.
Yeah, she can only,
Why is this so hard?
yeah, why is this working?
So if it's helpful, I have two windows, and the window that shows you, Drew, is not lighting up as the one that the audio is coming from. There's a second one that says chair.
Correct.
But both are unmuted. So I've got two windows coming from the town of Exeter that are
Okay.
unmuted.
Yeah, that makes sense, right. This computer here, this chair, you're not using its video. But when you use audio, that's what she's listening to. The video that's going to TV is the town of Exeter. That's right.
So what do we do?
That I don't know.
I can't seem to mute or unmute chair. Maybe somehow this isn't live. I think the issue is that this mic isn't working. That's my sense.
And that makes sense because when the other people spoke around the table, I couldn't hear them very well.
Can you try speaking?
So I wonder if their mics aren't working either.
Allison? Can you hear me?
Yeah, because it's picking up from the computer.
So that's
Yeah, I can't hear everybody else very well.
Allison, can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Allison? Can you hear me, Allison?
No.
yeah. I think the mics aren't working. That's the issue. That makes total sense now.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing.
No, it's not working. It's the mics aren't up.
Yeah, right. The mic should be going to Exeter TV.
So when chair is muted, there's no audio on my end.
And that's
Yeah,
it's the mics aren't
it should
working.
be that way.
Let's just force our way.
All
All right, we're gonna keep forcing. I'm gonna just, maybe I'll put in my fingers in my ears and just keep talking like this.
We have fun here.
I mean, yeah.
Right, it's a light meeting. We've had enough heavy meetings. We can put my fingers in my ears. Okay, so Riverwoods, we were talking Thursday, this Thursday at 7:30 in Boulders Hall. They are going to be discussing the forest/land management plan, or the forest stewardship plan. They have a committee there that's been working on this with a forester named Peter Farrell. And they've developed this forest stewardship plan. We may have an interest in that. They have a number of conservation properties around the facilities. And I'm not sure if this relates to the old one or the new one or both. It's probably both. There's a number of excellent trails that they maintain through all their land, including Jolly Ranch Trail and a bunch of other ones. So maybe something good to go to if anyone's interested. Kristen will be attending.
Sorry.
She mentions it would be good to have some Concom representation.
That's a slightly challenging time for me.
Yeah, Thursday at 7:30.
Maybe punish one of the people that didn't show up.
Yeah.
Let's punish
Those guys.
All
All right, we'll do that later.
Kristen Murphy is also presenting at CMS, the Cooperative Middle School, on water quality program. She's done this a few years before. There's a stormwater pollution. So talk about the stormwater pollution, the role of wetland buffers, and how to sample water for water quality. And Eric Turner from Estorlac will be helping. It's a multi-day presentation. So thank you, Kristen, for doing that. Any other property management items for us? You guys can think of? No? Okay.
Town forest, good shape.
Yeah, in general, I'd say the trails, I mean, we've talked about trails. They seem to be in a pretty good shape relative here. Things dried out last week quite a bit. And then we've gotten some rain recently to keep it a little wetter,
But even then, it's with the frost out of the ground, seems within a day, things dry right out again.
yeah. We have on the agenda the Jolly Rand trail maintenance. I brought this up as an issue. There's several spots that are quite muddy in the middle of the trail, and it's pushed people to continue to use the edges of the trail where it's a little bit higher and drier. Some of them are not ideal, and so the trail has expanded quite a bit and continues to become muddier. So I'm looking for ideas about how to maintain this section. I'm not a trail maintenance guy per se, but some other parts of the trail have sort of gravel sections that were laid down a while back. There is access to the site through the end of Heritage Way. I don't know if you know Jolly Rand, but Heritage Way comes right up against the edge of Jolly Rand, and there's some boulders there. And I think at one point the DPW brought a whole load of gravel either in. I'm not sure if they drove down along the trail. It used to be an old road.
I think it's still considered to be a road, actually, a class.
Class 5 road or whatever.
A big number, yeah.
Yeah.
You want me to go down there and take a look at it?
So if you want, there's a few spots between Heritage Way and Brentwood Road, 111A.
Yeah, I'll go down.
Where there's some muddy spots, and one of them's bigger, and there's a trail junction there with the trail that goes off onto the private property down to one of those other developments off Kingston Road.
Yeah.
And it's just become sort of this muddy mess. You could do some boards across, or some mix of gravel and boards to make it more manageable.
Let me look at it. I've done a lot of that. So. I'd prefer to stay away from the wood if possible. But.
Given that we might be able to get a machine in there with a few loads of gravel, that would really solve it.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that, and if it looks like it's doable, I'll talk to Jay.
It would involve moving a few boulders, but I assume they have the tools to do that.
Well, it's the same tractor that carries the gravel in to move the boulders. So I'll get next week or so. I'll take a swing down there.
Okay, that would be awesome. And I know I've talked to a few other people, and I was hoping Kyle was going to be here because I know he uses that trail quite a bit, and just to see if they have any thoughts. If there are other trail maintenance needs, the town forest or otherwise, I know the Morset property too could also use some more love, because there's a section of trail between the field and the skate park, and that's also quite muddy early in the season. It's just not well drained, and I know that trail's getting a lot more use. So we do have budget this year that we need to spend for this type of thing. So,
town forest done a lot of bridging work taking place, and we've been getting all the wood for free. I put a post up on the biking webpage, just as a flyer, just to see what kind of response I would get. I said, if anybody's got any old pressure treated laying around, or if they could replace in their deck or anything like that, let me know. And the response was huge. There's a guy down in East Kingston replacing close to 40 decks that were getting all the wood from that.
Oh, wow.
And it's it's kind of splintering, so people and bare feet have a problem stuff, that's why they're saying that. Because the integrity of the wood is still pretty much there.
Yeah, the pressure treated checks like a lot. I can see that.
Oh, yeah. Terrible
Yeah.
But so we're not going to spend a cent on wood. I want to get some money to some of these guys for fasteners at some point because that can add up. Everybody's been donating it.
Yeah, we certainly could approve money for it.
We've got several $1,000s worth of, or what would have cost us several $1,000s already worth of wood. And we've got more of a response than we can possibly use, put it that way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Can you hear us, Allison? No. Well, you can hear me now. I just unmuted. Now we're battling who's muting who.
Do you want to just give our support to Kyle to try to organize something and come back with a proposal?
For the Jolly Ranch?
No, the geocache, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I jumped.
Oh, for the next thing. Well, just one thing on your lumber, that's awesome, because it's like a win-win, because we're reusing a product that might otherwise go into some C&D landfill,
It's a triple win. It was going to go into a dump. We needed it, and it was going to cost the guy who's doing the work money to dispose of it.
Right.
Everybody wins. Yeah.
Wow.
So
have you made progress on that middle trail north of the?
We started stockpiling wood. That's a big project. So we're starting to get the wood staged, and then probably come May we're going to set a trail down a Saturday or something, and probably get 15, 20 people in there. 'Cause it's going to be a lot of just pumping materials in there. Because one of the things we're going to try to do is improve the one entire trail from the Exeter side all the way over to the power lines on the Newfield side because of the parking issues that we've been having. And there's no place to expand parking. So everybody's been parking up on Watson Road, which is getting really dangerous. Deer Trees had a parking lot, but that got out of control, so a bunch of no parking signs have gone up there. The 85 lot, last weekend I saw like 15 cars parked out on 85.
Oh, really? It spilled over that much?
Yeah. So the only place where there's really additional parking and is underutilized is the industrial park.
Yeah.
But the trail had gotten so bad going all the way over to Newfields that nobody wanted to park in the Exeter side to ride to the...
Yeah, it's a really hard terrain.
So I'm thinking the only solution really, because none of these other places can be expanded for parking. So I'm thinking the solution is to make the ride a better ride, walk, hike, run, whatever, from one end to the other, so people will start parking on the Exeter side more and going across, and hopefully it'll help alleviate some of that parking issue. So there's a fair amount of work coming up to accomplish that, but
yeah. So that one trail would just be a small piece of that.
The bridging section.
Yeah.
Yes. And but then even trying to reroute around some of the really blown out sections that just need to revegetate and just let rest, and try to take out some of the rockier parts. There's a lot of stuff where it's gotten beyond being technical and fun, and it's just beat yourself to death ride. So nobody wants to do that. and even walking through there, you're stumbling all over, you know, baby heads all through the trails.
Baby heads. Okay.
Sorry. That's just one way I've heard them referenced. Anyways.
Yeah.
Bigger than pebbles, smaller than boulders. So anyhow, that's where that's at.
Okay, well, that's good. I'm going to organize a trail committee meeting at some point. I know you're not that psyched about it, but I think that will be a good thing to talk about more.
Yep.
All right, let's keep moving. So Kyle may do a geocaching event. That would be awesome. I thought about doing geocaching. Never have, but I'm into it.
The next thing is the Aoy Festival. We should spend a few minutes talking about this. A lot going on here. I'm excited. Has everyone put in their prediction on when the Aoy will run? I would recommend that everybody do that, everyone listening. The details are important because it costs money, but you might win a kayak. It's sort of like a raffle. That'll go to donate to help fund this event. I'm not sure where the proceeds are going. Hopefully you click on that link that will provide more info on that. But what you have to do is call Parks and Rec during business hours. And they will take $10 from you, and you'll put in a date when you think it's gonna, when you think they're gonna run, and it's gonna be based on the day before they get to the Pickpocket Dam. That's the day we expect them to come through the downtown portion of the river.
So what is it, like a football pool? You pick a square on the calendar or something, and that's your square?
Yeah, what if multiple people pick it?
Do they share the kayak?
You have to create a agreement between the parties. I have not looked into that much detail on this. It's a good question, Dave. Okay, so of the correct dates.
Date, yeah, you put into a pool.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, that works.
So you've got a couple
Yeah,
hurdles.
so you have to, that's right. You have to guess the date correctly, and then you get put into a raffle.
Okay, that's fair.
That's fair. All right, next we have the Alewife Mascot costume. Does everyone know this is happening? There's a creative contest for who can develop an actual town mascot. How cool would that be if you made an Aoy costume that is used at this event and any future event in Exeter? You could have the fish running around town. That would be cool.
That is a horrifying thought.
Well, I know several people are working on their costumes, and I would encourage everyone to come up with one, no matter how great or how duct taped and cardboard it is. It would be a fun event to take part of. I think there's going to be some sort of judging event on the day of the Aoy to decide who's the winner.
Hey, Drew. It's probably worth clarifying when the event is, because I'm looking at the kayak, guess the run date, and it says.
Can you wait? Hold on, Allison. I just lost your audio. Why would I have lost your audio? I can clarify. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you. All right. Yeah, we just don't need that. We don't even need that computer.
You probably do.
Keep going.
So the run flyer says the Aoy Festival is the 14th, and then the costume flyer says it's the 21st, so probably worth confirming the date, which I think is the 14th, correct?
It is definitely the 14th, so we need to work on that. I believe the rain date is the following weekend, the 21st. So that was on the costume.
Yeah, the costume contest flyer says the 21st.
Okay, so yeah, to back it up, Aoy Festival is happening at Founders Park from 9 to 1 on the 14th of May. It's going to be a great event all morning, outside and in the library. And we encourage anyone from all over the region to come and attend. There's going to be all sorts of...
I believe the ring.
Just making sure it's still audio.
Okay. I think we're good without that computer because we really don't need that computer.
Yeah, they just asked me to like restart it.
Okay.
To see what's going on, but yeah.
But I think without it, we don't echo, so.
We don't, but I think it's for the television viewers.
Yeah, or like the TV
RSA thing, yeah.
Okay.
So we lost video of you by losing that computer?
Oh, you lost the video of me. I'm right here. No, I'm not actually. Right.
Yeah, so this is the YouTube. Yeah, the YouTube stuff.
All right. So.
Now it's worse.
That echoes really bad for me. But I have video. Trade-offs, I suppose.
Allison, can you hear us now?
Yeah, but it's echoey.
Oh, I know what it is.
Wait, can you try to mute it for 1 minute?
Okay.
Wait, mute it for 1 minute.
I think we're good now.
It sounds good on my end.
Yeah, I just restarted the computer and it worked.
All right, don't touch anything.
Yeah, I just restarted the computer and it worked.
There's a delay, but we can handle a delay. Can you hear me, Allison?
I can.
All right, that's different. So we have the Alewife. Where was I? We have the event on the 14th from 9 to 1. It's going to be family-friendly event. We're going to have a lot of activities. There's T-shirts available for purchase now. If you want to print them, you can have an awesome custom logo that my wife actually designed, Sarah Koff.
It's beautiful. I got the shirt, but
You did?
I have another one coming. Just anyone ordering them, they're really tiny. Kristen had to get a new one too because they're like small.
They're small.
So make sure when you order them, order up a couple of sizes. But
Weird.
I got the gray. It's beautiful, and her design, it just really pops out on the gray one.
Oh, great. Yeah, I saw Kristen's shirt and it looks nice. So I think they'll probably be available after the festival too. So you can spread the word. We have a website where all this information is available. There's going to be a presentation from New Hampshire Fish. There's going to be an electric vehicle display from the Sustainability Committee. I believe they're working on that. The Tree Committee is doing a big tree scavenger hunt contest. The Pollinator Pathways is going to have a booth there. The Phillips Exeter students are doing a booth too related to reducing junk mail that you get. So we've pulled in groups from all over town to help run different activities there.
That's good.
There's a film festival. There's going to be a kayak tour, I believe later that afternoon down, put in at the town boat launch.
Stewart's Park, I think. Yeah.
And we're working with Sawbelly on, if you buy an Alewife pint glass, you may get a beer for free. Don't take my word on that, though. There's some promotional thing through Saab LA.
That's what it says there.
That's what it says here, but
Yeah, I don't think the bear will be there. You have to go.
You have to go to Saab LA after.
With your glass.
Right.
That's my understanding.
There will not be beer at Founders Park. I am sure of that. Yeah. And so what we're going to be doing, we are going to have a booth, and I hope that folks can help. I know Trevor and I may be the only ones thus far, but Allison, if you're available, that would be great. Dave, if you want to help out, or others, I think we'll have to email more about it since we have such small numbers here. I have secured 2 different models for us to do presentations with.
Oh, cool.
We have the Enviroscape, which is this sort of model, maybe this big around. It's a landscape-based model. It's got mountains and rivers and the lake.
Yep.
And you can take a spray bottle or other features and simulate rainfall and look at how water moves through a landscape, and you can put things on the model to show how it can pick up different pollutants. If you have a pollutant source, you can see how it moves through the watershed. So it's sort of a watershed scale demonstration. And then I also have a sort of little cross-sectional diagram of showing groundwater flow. It's a groundwater model. So it'll have sort of a sand and gravel and silt model, so you can see how water moves through different types of media in the ground.
Cool.
And it has little demonstrations for like a little pond, and how the groundwater interacts with surface water, and how contamination can flow and enter a well. It has little wells and a little pump that circulates water. So it'll be a neat demonstration of how groundwater works beneath our feet. So it should be interesting if I can figure out how it works. So I'm excited to figure that model out, if you're willing to do the Enviroscape.
Totally. Yep. I'm ready. We'll be the coolest exhibit at the Aoy Festival.
And we have a tent and at least 2 tables that I know of for these things. So we'll definitely coordinate ahead of time. But then we also it would be good if we had more help, because we also are going to have some trail maps. And we had also talked about sea level rise and going down to Swayze Parkway, and depending on the tides, looking at just sea level rise in general and how it impacts some of our local areas, including Swayze Parkway. This is happening the 14th, like I said, which I believe is just after our next May meeting, so we can do some last minute prep at our next meeting. Okay, I'm talking too much. Anything else on Alewife? No. There's a town-wide cleanup going on right now. Started yesterday, from this week and next week. You can go to DPW and get free bags. Fill them with trash from along the side of the roads. I've seen a lot of trash out there. I feel like it's worse than I remember. There's always seems to be trash accumulating over the winter, but I feel like, at least around my house, there's more than I remember, and I want to go out and go down there and get some bags and pick up some trash. And I think you can drop it back off at DPW, and you don't have to pay for your own blue bag if that's a problem for you. DPW is also offering rain barrels. Talk to them if you want a rain barrel. The planning board passed a site plan requirements for electric vehicle readiness in developments. 5% of spaces in multifamily, 2% in commercial. So that must be charging stations for electric vehicles.
Sounds like.
In new developments.
Yeah.
They're going to put the piping in so that when the development happens, they don't have to dig the ground up. They can run the wires. So it's there in the event they want to put one.
Excellent.
Yeah, it is. It was
That's smart.
exciting.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah.
There was a report that Mr. Fox composting the transfer station diverted 16,500 pounds of food waste from the landfill last year. So kudos to everyone who's bringing their compost to the transfer station. That's awesome. And there's also Textile Recycling, Helpsy Textile. So you can bring clothing there that might not be suitable to donate to a secondhand place. You can donate, put it in a bin at the transfer station, and they'll recycle it. And they've already collected almost 1,000 pounds in February alone. Amazing. Phillips Exeter students have this junk mail reduction presentation. We have a link to that. I don't know about this Dover. There's a climate change program going on in Dover that was modeled after something we did here in Exeter. So I know Kristen Murphy is a Dover resident and has adapted some of our things over there. That's excellent. And lastly, the Rains Farm, we issued an RFP for contractors to submit proposals to do the work. We have I guess last month was March, which was that night when we voted. We had the town vote. So since our last meeting, we successfully got the $150,000 through the town. So we're excited about that. The RFP has been published, and we have a site visit on Friday at 10 a.m.
Who's overseeing the construction project?
Who's going to be from the staff, from the town?
From the town, yeah.
That's a good question. Do you want to help?
Well,
No.
I just think there should be somebody.
Yeah, there is a contact, I think, in DPW who's going to help.
With some background.
Yeah.
And
I think Kristen, some of it's going to fall on Kristen.
I'd be happy to be involved in that.
And then we have Don Bristleton, who's a former Conservation Commission member and has been active in the Rains Farm Stewardship Committee, and he is probably going to be involved as well. And he's a former maintenance, he has a good background in this type of stuff.
So he does understand construction?
I think it's, yes, to
Yeah,
some.
I mean, I just want to make sure that, because especially when you go out for RFPs, which I like, I don't like doing low bid type situations. I think that's counterproductive a lot of times. But you still have to interpret the RFPs or what you get back.
Yeah.
Their proposals themselves.
So so what typically happens is when they're open, the select board will then send it back to the department heads to review for anything that's, just because it's a low bid, that doesn't mean it's a good one. So there is a review process.
But in this case, it's not going to a department, it's the Conservation Commission.
Yeah, so I don't fully know how to answer that. If Kristen was here, she would have a better
Right,
answer
we'd go
for
to
you.
Kristen, who would probably bring it to
We
you.
can, yeah, and it would go to, there's the subgroup of the Rains Farm Stewardship Committee who's been in direct communication about this. So it may be something, if you would want to look at it, you might bring some good experience to the table to see. And we have the site walk on Friday, and submissions are due on May 2nd. So we'll see what we even get. There's some concern because we had the contractor who prepared some of the documentation that helped get us the L-chip. They revised our cost estimates in some of the scoping work. They have indicated that we were hoping they would be a bidder, but they're not going to be a bidder. So I don't know who and how many bidders we'll actually get. Hopefully we'll get a good number.
Well, it's kind of a specialized.
But it's a pretty niche thing, yeah.
Yeah. Because I gave Kristen the name of somebody who had done, I don't know who it is, but they did a restoration on Newfields Road, right on the corner of Sloan's Brook there, the northwest corner, that barn there. And I know the people that own the property, and they were very happy with the company that did the work for them.
Huh. And you gave Kristen that name?
And I gave Kristen that information, yeah.
That's good. Hopefully someone like that will we'll step up. I know there's a lot of construction projects. Okay, so those were all sorts of other business. We sort of skipped ahead. The last other business we have two other businesses that we'll
Excuse me. The site visit's April 15th, doesn't put a time though.
it's 10 a.m.
So it's 10 in the morning?
Yeah, this Friday.
Okay.
I'm sure of that. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I'll go for that.
And right now, I believe it's just Kristen and myself, and potentially Sally Ward might come, but she might be late.
Yep.
Sally's been former Conservation Commission member who's left the commission, but is still involved in the Rains Farm Stewardship Committee. So the really other item of business here, we have 2 letters of support. This was added recently to the program here. It's not really on the agenda, but we're going to do it under other business. 2 things that have come up through DPW of projects. One is on Drinkwater Road. There's a undersized, somewhat failing culvert that is just south of Prentice Way, where there's a farm that we have an easement to get into Phillips Exeter along the utility there. There's a utility right of way on Drinkwater Road.
Vaguely, yeah.
That you can take into the Phillips to access the Phillips Exeter trails. And it loops around to the stadium. It's not one of the
gates.
It's not one of the gates.
Yeah.
It's through a farm. Anyways, right there is a culvert that helps drain that mega wetland that is east of Drinkwater Road, including the cove behind our Smith Page property, and then it drains down under Drinkwater Road towards the Phillips Exeter and connects in there with the Exeter River. Do you know where, if you're ever paddling, I don't know if you've paddled upstream from Gilman Park, but there's a confluence of 2 rivers, and it's that upper drainage. Anyways, that's a long explanation of where this is. That isn't that relevant, but they're looking for a letter of support for this culvert replacement, and they're applying to the New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services Coastal Program through the Watershed Assistance Section Critical Flood Risk Infrastructure Grant. And so this letter of support I have here with everyone's, I don't think we need a vote on this, but it's just, I'm signing a letter. I wanted to make the commission aware that we're all in agreement that we would support this important project because it's going to improve the crossing it improves both for flooding reasons. There's been some road flooding in this, should help water quality and habitat. So it's a win-win project.
I have a comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. You can hear me fine?
Yeah, our audio got all worked out, so we're good now.
Awesome. I think that sounds awesome, all for enlarging culverts where needed. And I'll just mention to the group, because as a private citizen, I've voiced this idea to Phillips Exeter, but maybe as a commission, we could engage in a discussion. So if I'm thinking about the path of that water body, so we're talking about this upstream culvert, if you head downstream, that is, I think, intersects with the bridge that takes you from PA trails to the other trails. And under that bridge are 2 perched culverts.
Yeah, there's those 2, exactly.
Yeah, and with the removal of the dam, and we know that alewives have, the April after the dam was removed, the alewives got past the dam. So now they're heading up toward Pickpocket. in much larger numbers than when the dam was there. And I don't see any reason why they wouldn't head off into that tributary as well, except now there's those perched culverts that, I mean, they don't have jumping ability, so they're not going to get up them. So, and plus I imagine the water flow there might not be ideal, but if both of those culverts were to be restored, there could be some potential for diadromous fish habitat there. So restoring that upstream culvert, especially if it's needed, right? We're opportunistic and it sounds like it's failing. And so absolutely, like, fully support opening that up. But then I think that that puts even more interest in trying to find some resolution for that downstream culvert, or series of culverts, which I'm sure is owned by Phillips Exeter.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. I know exactly what you mean, and it's worth bringing up. It's worth bringing up with them, because it's not like it's a trail. It's just a trail. They're culverts under a trail. It's not like it's not a busy highway that would be a pain to do work on. So there's, it seems like a good opportunity for a project for them there. And I know Nature Conservancy, actually Pete Steckler specifically was interested in this project. So he may be a partner in this project. And I don't know if he's thought about the same thing, Allison, or who else has thought about this, but certainly when Kristen is reviewing this tape, I'm sure she might have an idea or comment right now to add to this. So yeah, let's keep bringing that one up. And I know they have was it maybe the start of COVID? They have a new facilities person who put more energy into some of their trails, improving their trail network. I know I felt like they've been doing more out there. So maybe it's a good time. Okay, the other letter of support that I'm going to sign is related to the Tan Lane Drainage Study update, another grant proposal. This is public, again, we're supporting public works to the Coastal Program and Watershed Assistance, same program. They're applying for another project, which is called Tan Lane Drainage Study Update. So Tan Lane is by Phillips Exeter. There's a low spot on it that floods. And it's related to the Lincoln Street stormwater. There's been a lot of, let's see what it says here. It's located downstream of the Lincoln Street area. And this is part of the largest storm drain network in town. And it discharges to the tidally influenced Swampscott River. So water has to get all the way from Lincoln Street to the Swampscott, and I think it has to go through Tan Lane and maybe one other pathway, and
probably through the schools even, right?
Through this, it goes under the schools, under Main Street, or
There's a stream that runs where Main Street School is. That runs down below there.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't.
And then it runs underground.
And then it runs, and I don't know how. In my head, I can't quite figure out. And then how Tan Lane is connect, because it goes over towards Tan Lane, and maybe I don't know all the logistics of it, but I know we've had people present to us before about that there's significant issues that the town is hoping to address in the long run with this stormwater collection system. And so this project would be to help address that. And it's all about improving water quality and reducing nitrogen loading to the Swampscott. So the Public Works has proactively gone for this grant. So we're just trying to support them in that.
Yep.
So I'll sign those two. Okay. So let's approve the minutes. Does anyone have any comments on the minutes? I thought they were good. I did do a quick read of them.
Yeah, I didn't notice anything. They looked good.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from the
March 8th.
March 8th meeting.
I'll second that. Okay, we'll do a roll call vote. Allison?
I'll abstain. I wasn't there.
We may need you to vote. But you can abstain, I guess. Well, why don't we vote on these next time? We're just gonna punt on this. You weren't there. I'm not trying to force you to vote. All right, we're gonna, any other business? Okay, look at that, 8 o'clock. I motion to adjourn.
Quickly, before 8 o'clock.
Seconded.
All right, and all those in favor say aye.
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 All right, we're adjourned. Thank you, Allison, for putting up with what was a challenging AV situation for a while.
Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast channels 98 and 22. Channel 98 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 13, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.